I'm Anisa. Today's video is for anyone who's been feeling that they've been seeking love outside of themselves and is aware that they need to bring the attention back towards their inner world, towards themselves. Maybe you've been seeking love from a partner or a friend, or just projecting that towards a future person who doesn't even exist. Then it's a really good opportunity to tune back into our inner worlds, bring the attention into ourselves, and cultivate a sense of deep love from this place, from this well that is us, because when we nurture what's in here, then we have more to give. And I believe in the universal law of what you give, you get and receive back. Most of my videos are stories and reflections, and most of the things going on in my life. And I share that because I believe that we are all each other's healers. We provide a mirror to each other to see ourselves more clearly. And so I appreciate you being here and listening to me. And hopefully there's reflections of wisdom that you can take away and support you on your journey and your unique path. If you are interested in staying and following mine, then like and subscribe to this channel for weekly uploads. What you can expect from this video is I'm going to get to a story around this past week for me, what's been arising, how it relates to this theme of longing for love, and then also share with you morning pages, which this week is, I kind of briefly wrote something down. I will still share it with you because I believe in that type of transparency, and not always our creative brilliance is shining through, but I think there's enough nuggets of wisdom that can really support you if you've been in the position of finding yourself in codependent dynamics, or seeking love from somebody who's not available, or seeking love from somebody who's busy. Whatever the case, we are often in a position of wanting something externally that we need to give to ourselves first. If you're feeling this, and let's get into hearing about this last week and what arose. Investing in yourself is the theme of the week. I pull tarot every morning, and last week I pulled a card that was the Lover's card reversed. If you're unfamiliar with the tarot, it's a really great modality for you to be introspective, for you to feel more connected to your inner world, for you to get guidance from the non-physical world. I have gotten into the practice officially pretty much exactly a year ago. If you're unfamiliar with the tarot, also, the Lover's card is hugely about partnership often, and it's a really great indicator that partnership is coming to you. But when I received it in reverse, it's more about that partnership isn't a place where I am feeling strong and I am feeling grounded, or I'm feeling I can source love from. And so it's an indicator for you to tune into yourself, into your inner world in these moments and times. And it took me a little while to really come to that realization, and there's been a habit for me of noticing when codependence arises and knowing that that's not an energy that works well for me in dynamics and relationships. It really is healthy for me to have some level of interdependence or non-attachment, or ultimately be more independent as a single person. This was a really good reminder to me, even in the times when I feel like I'm in a very loving exchange with a person, to still remind myself that I need to invest here and not fixate and cling too much to that other person as a person that, is going to provide a level of security that I don't have available to me all the time. And we all have that powerful sense of love available to us all the time. And it's so sad that we live in a place and in a culture in a time where it's just not told to us, it's not emphasized, because it's not profitable. It's more profitable to be like, you'll find the greatest love of your life and there you'll find fulfillment, rather than like, you might find fulfillment in a partner, and you also need fulfillment from the universe, you need fulfillment from friendship, you need fulfillment from family, your career, a sense of purpose, being in service. And I love that the ancient Greeks had 8 words to describe love because they knew that love was so expansive. And right now in English, I just have love. And that's so silly because there's so many forms of love that we might be seeking. So one of the forms or words for love that I love from the ancient Greeks was agape love. And that's love of the universe, love of nature, love of Mother Earth, love of everything beyond the non-physical. What I do to access that is this morning ritual of tarot cards and meditation and a number of other things. Just getting into nature, going to spend time with trees, being with energies that are unconditionally loving and pure. People find that from pets and dogs and animals. I find that more from nature. I remember 6 years ago, I felt this feeling more hugely, and it wasn't in relationship. I think that you can feel the feeling of seeking love and longing for love or some level of like to be saved or be rejuvenated or be replenished by something greater than you. Commonly, we think of like a romantic partner or a person or maybe a parent when you're younger is going to come and save you. But I felt this feeling very strongly 6 years ago when I was still working at Google, and I was working in marketing. For those who don't know, we had a lot of perks, and one of the perks was in office there was therapy, and I lucked out that my therapist there was incredible. We had a really deep connection, and at the time I thought I just needed general talk therapy, but what I truly needed was spiritual guidance, because I was feeling like everyone was needing something from me. My energy was constantly being drained out, and I didn't know how to replenish it. I felt like there was nothing that was providing back energy to me, and he made it very clear that it was even more important for me to deepen in my meditation practice and to engage in a meditation practice called the Pillar of Light. And that's really just knowing that your chakras extend beyond here, right? Our physical body ends here, but our energy body extends far beyond it. And we have so much opportunity to pull in energy from the higher chakras, from above. And not just that, that was kind of my introduction to really understanding the importance of that, but also the need to pull energy from trees and from nature and so on and so forth. We are just human bodies, and there's a reality that we might feel overextended and drained and don't have enough to give. And in those times, it's also needing for us to take note and have the awareness of it so that we're not feeling victimized and feeling powerless in our state. It's natural to get to that place. Energy, as I've mentioned previously, our life force energy is also our sexual energy, is also our creative energy. It's referred to as prana, as chi. It's referred to in so many different ways. But there's so many ways to rejuvenate that energy for ourselves. Creativity is a huge way that we can do this, whether it's expressing how we're feeling to ourselves in a journal, taking our feelings and channeling it into song and singing a song that emulates the feeling that you're trying to let through. I had an audition this week, and it was so cathartic to sing. And so it was just a reminder to me to like continue to open up. There's still parts of us that get a little dusty, and it's about us coming back and brushing them off and revisiting all the parts of ourselves that need attention, that need some love, that need some TLC. Anyways, with the awareness of that need to seek love, and with the knowing that there's tools beyond what you do in your everyday that might support you, whether that's having a morning ritual or an evening ritual, whether it's connecting with nature or just sitting with yourself in silence, there might be a really big opportunity for you to go inward and ask, what do I need? And so with that action state of going inwards and being like, what do I need? It led me to then reconnect with a friend here, attend a wellness event. I'm in the wellness capital in LA. There's so much abundance and so much opportunity to, from my environment, going to different events, be able to have these very privileged experiences of yoga classes, sound baths, often for free. This one was for free, and me and my friend after just sat in the steam room for like an hour because they allowed us to use the spa in the hotel. We sat in the steam room and we were just feeling so lucky and so grateful to have these moments of pause in our own city. Things that we want are usually, they don't require that much. In my scenario, I didn't have to go to this event to get that luxury experience to feel the wellness, but it was just like a cherry on top. What I needed and what would have done the trick was just slowing down and tuning into my inner world and nurturing myself and doing the rituals and practices that really fulfill me and doing the creative stuff that really makes me feel good and being here with you, which always makes me feel very alive. Sometimes it can feel like self-care is so self-indulgent, it's so just for you, but it's truly not. I felt because I had this reserve of good energy, I sat down, I watched Ava DuVernay's Origin, this film that came out last year, and it's incredibly powerful. It's just a heavy watch too, so if you're not in a good mental place, you might have a hard time sitting through it, but I highly recommend it. It is based on the book Cast, which came out in 2020, right after the murder of Trayvon Martin, and it connects this story of Trayvon Martin, or his lived experience with slavery in the US, with the Holocaust, with the untouchables in India and the caste system there, and it shows the connection between all of them in a really powerful way. And I don't want to spoil too much, but ultimately there's an underlying belief that there's division in the world, and we think there's division between people, and it goes beyond that. There's not even division between people, there's not division between the physical and the non-physical world. There's such a blend. And it's really beautiful the way that they captured that story. So one to really check out. And I say that all to say, I was like, yeah, that's why I show up in the world and I need self-care, is because I really like to talk about things that are heavy and dark, and I like to address those, whether it's in my acting work, whether it's within myself. I like to do the deeper internal work, and I have to actually get to a baseline of stability within myself, of grounding, to be able to excavate the muckiness that is internal and to do the shadow work and to honestly provide a mirror to other people to do theirs. And I love to be in that position, and that's why we continually need to bring ourselves to a higher state so that we can sink lower and know that we can be pulled back up again. I want to move to the kitchen. My takeaway from this past week is really that the medicine that you most want to receive from other people, from a partner, is usually the medicine that you're most equipped to be able to give once you source it for yourself, once you go through the journey of sourcing it for yourself. If you're like me, maybe you have a Chiron in 7th house and place of partnerships. So that's one of my wounded healer kind of aspects, is that I do feel like there's so much learning that I learn in relationship to other people, whether it's a romantic person or a friend or whatever else, and living life and going through the experience of living life. There's so much that I take away and distill within myself that I'm so happy to share with you. And you have the same powerful ability to go and live life, to have experiences, to meet people, to take risks, to live very fearlessly. And through that living fearlessly and by choosing love again and again, you are creating a higher level of surplus that spills over to other people, that supports them in accessing all of themselves in this lifetime. Last but definitely not least, I want to share morning pages. Honoring ourselves is often honoring our inner child. Again and again, I'm reminded that the innermost part of us has always been in existence. When it comes to the wholeness, it's like the person that you were born as is enough, and remembering that and really investing in that person, because you become more complicated over time, obviously, but the innate qualities that want to be expressed through you in this lifetime are always there and always accessible. And it's about getting the nudges to remind ourselves to access them. And so that's what inspired this writing today. Commit to becoming whole again and again is the affirmation of the day. I had a series on TikTok called Healthy Relationship Finding Journey, then had a healthy relationship, then we broke up, and then I started a new series called Wholeness Journey. Then I felt wholeness. The world card in tarot is wholeness and completion, right? Yes, I met someone, but I'm reminded to find wholeness again and again. There are no endings, therefore there are no happy endings. So instead, plan to be constantly working on a happy present, knowing that there are no destinations, just the commitment towards growth. We grow whether we choose love or fear. If we choose the path of fear, we'll get off track, but often we'll be looped back to the same crossroads of love and fear again. So we get to constantly choose the higher path of love again and again and again and again. What parts of you need to be unlocked to feel the security and confidence that you were born with? Where did it go, and how do you reclaim it now? You have to revisit you on the inside. Take a walk through. Anything that needs dusting off now, because everything you need is there. Just take some cleaning up to see that clearly. All the love that you need and seek also is existing within you, around the world, in your community, in friends, in nature, from above. There's just an abundance of love that's accessible to us. And so if you're in that position of feeling the longing for love, it's so helpful to fill yourself up on all the many kinds of love that exist that aren't specifically the romantic love, because that one's not always going to be the one that you're needing. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you'd like to hear another video. Stay tuned for more. I'm wishing you much more love, much more feeling of the love that's accessible to you, the abundance of love that's in the world now and forever. Sending you love.